Good morning, everybody. This is Kevin Cahill from the Irish American Club of Berkshire County, and I join you this morning as I do every Sunday morning from the beautiful studios of 89.7 FM WTBR Pittsfield Community Radio. Farmers away until next week, but nonetheless, we have a great show planned for you today. We're going to be hearing from Afro-Celt Sound System again, Sean Doyle, Michal McGoldrick, the Kildares, Patty Riley, Katie McMahon, and maybe some Dropkick Murphys. So we'll be starting off today's show with Mairead and Trina Ní Donal, and with Donal Looney playing backup on this song, Níl sé ina lá. Nothing happens in the day.
Nation, money, the four, nation, One very pleasant summer's morning when everything was bright and gay, the birds sang out their notes so charming, and I myself was as glad as they. I dressed myself in me Sunday suit, washed me face and combed me hair, greased me brogues and sallied forth for to spend the day at Carmen Fair. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. When I arrived at the town of Carmen, crowds of people thronged the street. Some were dressed in silk and satin, some wore big brogues upon their feet. Some had hankies round their heads with their feet and legs completely bare. Such a comical sight as you ever did see, as I saw that day at Carmen Fair. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. As I was passing them by in masses, examining them as I went along, looking at the fancy dresses, I spied a maid among the throng. Her smile was sweet, her figure neat, and grand was the dress that she did wear. I thought there was no one there that day to compare with her at Carmen Fair. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. I invited her in to have a threat, and she agreed without a frown. So off we went with one consent to an alehouse up in Carmen Town. I called for a pint of good strong sherry, and down in the snug we went and sat. Us two became both light and merry, and I counted myself a lucky brat. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. When in my arms I held her folded, and kissing her lips as I thought no sin. And all of a sudden the door burst open, and a big rough man came thundering in. He says, "You damned infernal ruffian, how dare you lay your hands on me wife?" He began to give me such a beating, I feared to God he would take me life. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. "Oh, husband dear, bade him well," says she. He kissed me, squeezed me, and pulled me hair. I was the lad paid well for the day I spent with his wife at Carmen Fair. Now all young lads who want a bride of unknown females, now beware. Mind the disgrace that happened to me in the damned deceitful Carmen Fair. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay. Whack full the tour-a-lure, laddie, whack full the tour-a-lure, lay.
Sean Doyle there. And an album produced by his son, Shawneen, The Light and the Half-Light. I have a couple albums by him, but that is my favorite, with Carmen Fair, the song about the man who picks the wrong woman to pursue at the Carmen Fair. Fairs were popular obviously, a popular place for dating and for looking for potential suitors and brides in Ireland and probably in other countries as well. But before that, we heard from Afro-Celt Sound System. I'll never tire of hearing of them. They have more albums than I suspected, around 10. The name of the tune, Nevermore, and the name of their album, Seed. And first up here, we heard in Gaelic, Nina Ina Tranala, from Mairead and Triona Nudonal, and with the inevitable Donal Looney playing backup. And now we're going to hear from Paul Brady from his album Primitive Dance with the Game of Love.
The sweetheart down the aisle, you should have seen his mama cry. She was the only girl for him, and he would never leave her side. And Daddy sends him the money down to build a castle in the sky, just like a magazine romance. Springtime honeymoon in France. Soon comes a bouncing baby boy, and he's the apple of their eye. A custom-made recipe for joy, gift that money couldn't buy. But Bobby's staying out late at night, and Mary's drinking slide. Is this someone I'm dreaming of? If there's somebody up above, teach us to play the game of love. Pushing and pulling, tears on the pillow, digging and beating each day. She wants his loving, he says she's changing, slipping away. Who needs the heartache of staying together? Let's call it a day. Some people say right from the start, love is just a foolish game. And when we end up against the wall, we find somebody else to blame. But if the loser gets a broken heart, how come the winner gets the same? Winner gets the same. Do we just pick up the house of cards so we can do it all again? Is there someone I'm dreaming of? If there's somebody up above, teach us to play the game of love. Teach us to play the game of love. When we gonna learn?
That was the Kildares. Their Kildare is spelled with 2 L's. Their album Secrets of the Day, Hold My Heart is the name of the song. Michael McGoldrick, Donegal man, with 3 reels, group called the Hillsbrook Reels. And before that, we heard from Paul Brady, his album Primitive Dance with The Game of Love. Not a lot of news out of Ireland, well, at least today, except for an unknown reason, the Gardaí were dispatched, scores of them apparently, to the Bank of Ireland ATM machines all over the country. Why the Gardaí were dispatched there, no one has said. So I'm sure to follow up tomorrow with the Irish Times to find out why, and I'll let you guys know. I have money in the Bank of Ireland, so I'm curious. Now we're going to hear from Paddy Riley with Rose of Allendale.
Oh, the sky was clear, the morning fair. No breath came over the sea when Mary left her Highland home and wandered forth with me. Oh, the flowers decked the mountainside, and fragrance filled the vale. By far the sweetest flower there was the rose of Allendale. Sweet rose of Allendale, sweet rose of Allendale, by far the sweetest flower there was the rose of Allendale. Where'er I wander, to the east or the west, and faith began to lure, consoling still was she to me in sorrow's lonely hour. Oh, tempest wrecked my lonely boat and wrecked the quivering sail. One maiden fond withstood the storm, 'twas the rose of Allendale. Sweet rose of Allendale, sweet rose of Allendale, by far the sweetest flower there was the rose of Allendale. And when my fevered lips were parched on Africa's burning sands, she whispered hopes of happiness and dreams of foreign lands. My life had been a wilderness, unblessed by fortune's gain. Had fate not linked my love to hers, sweet rose of Allendale, sweet rose of Allendale, was the rose of Allendale. Sweet rose of Allendale, sweet rose of Allendale, by far the sweetest flower there was the rose of Allendale.
The distinctive voice of Katie McMahon from Riverdance. The name of the tune is Heartland. All the rage. About a decade ago. First up in that set that we heard from Paddy Riley with The Rose of Allendale, one of his classics, from his Best of Paddy Riley album. And before that, or in between those two tunes actually, we heard from Ronan Brown and Padger O'Loughlin with two reels, The Southwest Wind and Your Petticoat is Loose. Such news. I looked up today in Irish history, and it is a little bit more interesting than usual. On August 20th, 1775, Hugh O'Connor, also known as Hugh O'Connor, established a military fort called Presidio San Agustin del Tucson. This was the founding of what would later become the city of Tucson, Arizona. The fort was originally built to defend against attacks from the Apache, and it attracted settlers from Spain, as well as the Pima, another Native American people. O'Connor was born in Dublin in 1734. He was the Commandant Inspector of the frontier provinces of New Spain. He came from a long line of military men who had served in the armies outside of Ireland. His great-grandfather, Daniel O'Connor, joined the Spanish army in the 17th century, and his uncle, Thomas O'Connor, was an officer in the French army. Hugh had signed up as a cadet at the age of 16. Perhaps the person who most influential in O'Connor's life was his Meath-born cousin, Alexander O'Reilly, a brigadier general in the Spanish army. O'Reilly recommended O'Connor to the Viceroy of New Spain, after which he became an interim governor of Texas. In 1775, he was tasked with locating a site for the northernmost presidio of the Spanish Empire, and on August 20th, he wrote, quote, I, Hugo O'Connor, Knight of the Order of Calatrava, Colonel of the Infantry in His Majesty of Spain's armies and Commandant Inspector of the frontier posts of New Spain, selected and marked out in the presence of Father Francisco Garces and Lieutenant Juan Carmona, A place known as St. Augustine de Tucson as the site of the new Presidio. So there you have an example of what Irish military men did after they fled Ireland following their defeat in the Williamite Wars in the 1680s. They went to the armies of France, they went to the armies of Austria, some of them went to the armies of Russia, and in this case, they went to the armies of Spain, where they were put to work in New Spain. So that's a good example of what happens when excellent military men leave the country. And now you're going to hear from Enya.
Pilgrim, how you journey on the road you choose to find out why the winds die and where the stories go. All days come from one day, that much you must know. You cannot change what's over, but only where you go. One way leads to diamonds, one way leads to gold, another leads you only to everything you're told.
le bullen vaden slurrim the mom leads in the frozy Is liggen den tocht veen nog te ganore mas is een row of the wies hing rijm ik denk toe sandoin Wil maar dum lang en is er gaan kosten ach als goed voor hem geef los je en is er gaan kosten ach als goed voor hem geef los je nog is tron oren
The singing there was Jarle Olanard with Queen O'Reilly playing the harbinger. Dennis Cahill was on guitar, Martin Hayes on fiddle, Thomas Bartlett was on the piano. The Necklace of Wrens is the name of the song from a RTE-produced album called The Gloaming, all about Irish music. And before that, we heard from the Dropkick Murphys with Far Down. And before that, we heard from Enya with Find Out Who You Are from her album from many years ago, Orinoco Flow. And now we're going to hear from Sheila Noonan with Radio Sweetheart.
One night, a long time ago, two lovers danced to an old radio. The music played clear and bright. The radio sweetheart waltzed all night. The stars shone bright, the radio sweethearts waltzed all night. Years have passed, the lovers are gone, the story is over untold. But I believe, and I always will, the radio sweethearts are waltzing still. Last night I had a dream that Mama and Papa had met once again. There in the glow of heaven's light, oh, the radio sweethearts waltzed all night. Years have passed, the lovers are gone, the story is over untold. But I believe, and I always will, the radio sweethearts are waltzing still. Dead in the day, upon går down a lorich sabarech. Dead in the day, tied no lachen, I skirada save. Dead in the day, joy bashir la hayrian way. Dead in the day, so bright mollen of the vulture fair. Derin de, ach kolga savga fanyan le.
Into this Kerja. This is Kevin Cahill signing off for another week. Please listen to our show again next week, and please listen to all the locally produced programming here at 89.7 WTBR, Pittsfield Community Radio, Gurama Agut, Agusjahi, Shahugan.
Stokides glas kaira frogin relachs nach hat